of monster you supposed to be? Man, you think I'm worried about you? You think I'm afraid of you? Come on, man. Really? You think I'm afraid of you? Man, come on. What's worry? Frustration? Doubt. Now, y'all, I'm not worried about that monster that just showed up over here, but the monsters of doubt, frustration, and worry, oh, those are monsters of a whole nother breed. Man, I gotta say, I'm so glad it's Tuesday. In fact, thank God it's Transformative Tuesday. Whoa! As always, I'm Dennis R. Holder, Mr. Motivation, the CEO of Heritage Hope, Books and Inspiration. Yes, I'm coming to you, each and every one of you, with some words of encouragement, of empowerment, something to raise you up, to instruct you to rise, to grind and stand up, to be your best self, to do your best work, to come into the next best expression of yourself, so you can do what? Transform on this Tuesday. Here we are, blessed with another Tuesday in the month of October. The month of ghouls, of monsters, of zombies, of different things that are meant to go bump in the night, that kind of stir us and get us all shaken up. So I decided in this month we will stick with that theme. In fact, the topic for the month of October is simply being, once you realize who you really are, you'll laugh at your fears. Let me tell you that again. Once you realize who you really are, you'll laugh at the fears you once had. So our topic for the day, our quote for the day, our food for the thought, if you will, lend me your ears on this Transformative Tuesday, is simply, why does it seem that we're more afraid of life than this thing called death? Can somebody answer me this morning? Why does it seem that each and every one of us are more comfortable, we're more acquainted with, we're easily afraid and just battered down by the blessing of this thing called life, but are so comfortable and just fine with the inevitable thing called this thing called our death? Now, I know somebody's saying, Dennis, you're coming in hot. You're coming in strong. Your energy is on 12, man. And you're talking about life and death. You got to slow it down for me. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Because I need us to realize, if you didn't know, I need you to live in fear. I need you to understand. I need you to have a perspective of the fact that just as sure as you will live, we will die. But what I also need us to keep in mind is the fact we shouldn't be so okay with that. We shouldn't just let this life pass us by. We shouldn't just kill time and go through the motions. No, we don't have time for that. In fact, if you don't watch us, we'll find ourselves tied up with doubt, with worry, and with frustration. And what those things do, they kill our spirits. They drag us down. They destroy our destinies, our goals, and our greater aspirations for this thing called life. You don't believe me? Man, when I hear this quote, as I share it with you, I can't help but think of even on just yesterday, when I was out and about talking to different people, and I observed and heard different conversations. It's hilarious to me to hear the things that I heard. It's not hilarious, but it is ironic. Let me say that. Ironic would be the better word. I've heard people say things like, in the midst of conversation, you know what? Something's going to kill me anyway. When it's my time, it's my time. When I go, I'm just going to go like we all going to go. That is fine. That's okay to accept. But can you tell me something? Why are we so comfortable accepting that? We'll accept the frustration, the aggravation of dying. We'll take doubt. We'll take aggravation. We'll take frustration. We'll take worry, but we won't speak life into our situation. We won't tell ourselves that greater things can come, greater possibilities can grow, that we won't talk ourselves in instead of talking ourselves out. Somebody's not hearing me this morning. I'm saying, when's the last time you talked yourself in? You spoke life into your situation. You spoke life into your circumstances. You saw the greater possibilities for the life that you're living instead of giving in to doom, gloom, and dismay. Instead of walking around with so much doubt in your mind that you can't see greater possibilities. Your mind can't come up with a greater conclusion. You can't see a better outcome for yourself because you doubt every action that you make, every decision that comes to mind, every greater possibility that the Heavenly Father plants in your possibilities of life and your seed of greater chances to grow, to evolve, to affirm and become your next best self, to transform into the greater possibilities of your life, because you're too busy doubting. You're in doubt of every decision, every thought, every action, every networking possibility, every possibility to branch outside of your comfort zone, because you're fine with staying there. That doubt is what you know. That doubt is easy to cling to, but I'm challenging you to step away from it, because that doubt is killing you slowly but surely. Now, I'm not letting the rest of them off the hook, because next you have worry. If you don't watch out, you will worry yourself to death. Yes, you will worry yourself to death. You will find yourself tied up in turmoil, tied up in dysfunction, worried about this. In fact, worrying does nothing. It only serves the purpose but to help the enemy. Who does what? Seeks to steal, kill, and destroy, which all leads to doing what? Death. It's death of your goals, death of your dreams, death of your greater possibilities, death of the destiny that is yours. Let me remind you something. Come on in, triumphant, transformative family. Come on in close. You have a greater destiny. But if you give in with worry, your mind is scattered. You're pulled to so many sides. You can't focus on anything. You can't focus on the goal that you had set for this month of October. You can't focus on finishing this year strong. You can't focus on making sure your family's taken care of, being the best version of a husband or a spouse or a wife that you can be, being the best mother or father, continuing your education, making sure your business is going forward. Because guess what? Guess what? You're so wrapped up in worry. Your mind is scattered. You can't focus on anything and the enemy wins. So long gone, long buried are your goals. Put away are your aspirations. Dead and gone are your dreams, because guess what? You're too worried to see that. You're so worried about what could happen, what might happen, what has happened already, that you're worried about it, that you can't see the greater possibilities of what will happen, what can grow, what can transform, what can allow your life to evolve into the next best version of yourself. That's what worry does. And the last thing is that doubt. That frustration, it's that frustration that can tie you down, that can keep your mind, your body, and spirit in knots. Because frustration is nothing but that pent-up anger. It holds you in place, so irritated, so frustrated. Nobody wants you around. Nobody wants to deal with you, because you're nothing but a walking ball of anger, an angry nerve that's just brought to the surface, that can't see greater possibilities, that won't see greater possibilities. No matter how good something is, you always find something negative. No matter when a possibility for you to advance and go forward, you find a reason to stay there, because you know what? You slowly get comfortable with that frustration. You ever heard the term misery loves company? Hey, frustration does too. Let me remind you that misery loves company and frustration does too. So if you want to walk around with a spirit of frustration, with aggravation and agitation, you let me know how that works out for you. You let me know if you've ever worried so much that things got better for you. That you were so frustrated and angry that things got better for you. That you had so much doubt in your mindset about what was going on in your life and for your life that things just got better. No, because that negativity, that lack of positivity, that lack of faith, that drowning in negative energy does nothing but what? Cultivate more negative energy. Cultivate more negative opportunities and outcomes. So guess what? If you speak things like, I never get a chance, I never get ahead, my life is never advancing, guess what? It's never going to advance. You're never going to get ahead. You're never going to see possibilities. So I'm telling you, why are you so comfortable with this thing? Why are you so comfortable with this thing called death? With these things called doubt, worry, and frustration that do nothing but kill the possibilities of your life? Why not choose life? Stop being afraid of living. Well, then, as you told me about death, and man, you kind of shine a dark light on that. I meant to, because the only way we can overcome something is to acknowledge it. We got to face it head on. Well, how do we face it head on this Transformative Tuesday? Well, I need you to realize you've been blessed with 3 amazing gifts. 3 amazing gifts. Walk with me this morning, Facebook family. One has been grace. The other is mercy. And the last one is faith. Now, what am I supposed to do with these business? How do I live my life? How do I make sure that I'm not walking around with more fear of living than I am of dying? Well, first of all, I need you to embrace the fact that grace is nothing but a chance to open your eyes, to wake up and bring your gifts, talents, and abilities to this world and do what only you are meant to do. Each and every one of us have a calling. We have a gift. We have an opportunity to shine our lights so bright each and every day when we're given it. It's to make a difference. Be the change that you want to see. Because guess what? You've been given grace, so take the chance to be better. Next, you've been given mercy. Now, mercy is a 2-pronged one. You say, hey, now stay with me on this one. Mercy is 2-pronged. First of all, mercy is nothing but a choice. Choice to forgive yourself. Realize that I made mistakes. I've fallen short. I've lost my way. I don't know which way to go from here, but you know what? I will figure it out. I will hang in here because I know greater things are coming. I will forgive myself for not knowing. Because guess what? There's going to be seasons of life where you don't know. You don't know that you don't know, and that's okay. Because those seasons of I don't know allow us to grow in faith, to come in greater understanding, to develop the gifts, talents, and abilities that are within us because we're stressed, because we're pushed. Our backs are against the wall, and guess what? We find greater depths of character, greater depths of strength, greater depths of understanding, greater possibilities of drive, resolve, and heart that allow us to go forward, because that's only if we decide to use and make that choice. And as you make that choice to forgive yourself, do me a favor. Do you a favor. Choose to forgive others. Because just like you fall short, just like you need that grace, just like you need that mercy, that forgiveness, apply it to others. For as we fall short, I'm reminding you that the people in our lives are going to fall short sometimes too. So just as you want that forgiveness, you want that mercy, make sure that you're exercising it in this walk of life. For as I love to remind us, we can't give what we don't have. So if you're not going to give yourself that mercy and forgiveness, you won't be able to share it with the world. Last thing I need you to take hold of, I need you to take hold of that faith. Now you're telling me, Dennis, I know faith. I know what faith is. I know the importance of it. It's the size of a mustard seed. No, faith is nothing but an opportunity. Well, yes, faith is the size of a mustard seed, but it's also something that's meant to be used. It's meant to grow. It's meant to cultivate. But what I need you to realize on this day, faith is meant to be an opportunity. Faith is an opportunity for you to raise your expectation of yourself, to speak up into the greater possibility of living this life, to look past doubt, worry, frustration, and understand that was then and this is now. I'm not living in the past of what was. I'm operating in the present of what can be. I'm operating in the greater expectations of a destiny that is mine to do. But the only way you can do that is to live in faith, to stretch and work that muscle. Faith is like a muscle. If you don't work it, it won't grow. It won't carry you. It won't be able to support you as you go forward in this greater journey of life. Now, what am I saying to you to bring all this together, to square this circle off, if you will? What am I saying to you today? It is so easy. It is so easy as I hear us go forward in this process of living our life that we find ourselves more willing, more accepting. We seem more afraid of this thing called life than we are this thing called death. Yes, just as sure as you are born, just as sure as I am born, we will die one day. But also, if we're blessed, Lord willing, we're given grace, which is a chance. So take advantage of that chance because you're not promised nothing. We're given mercy to forgive ourselves and forgive others because that's the circle of life. This is the bonds that connect us as human beings to realize that we all fall short. We all get weary along the way in well-doing. And guess what? Sometimes our best intentions just don't come through. But we have to be willing to work with one another. But first of all, be forgiving of ourselves. Realize that yes, we made mistakes, but I'm not that mistake. Yes, I fell short and I lost, so I didn't gain this situation. But that does not define me. This is a set of circumstances that I will and must overcome to advance to my destiny. Because then that brings me to faith. And that faith gives me an opportunity to grow, to evolve, to be my best self and do my best work. And do what? Transform on this Tuesday. What am I saying to each and every one of you? Please be blessed on this day. I remind you, don't be afraid of your fears. Don't let your fears hold you hostage because once you figure out who you really are, you're going to laugh at these fears. You're going to have a nice little laugh about it. But that's only when you realize, I'm telling you today, when you're willing to confront yourself and remind yourself you have no need. You have no need. I challenge you to realize to be afraid of this thing called life. Talk yourself in because death is inevitable. But life is a great possibility and another opportunity. I pray that each and every one of you decide, choose, go forward, and be blessed today on this